In this week's Tech in Twos, we are taking a look at some upcoming changes to Google Drive because, of course, the rule at Google is once you think you have it, it changes. And so these are the old sharing settings. So, right, I'm going to share my Google Doc with students or with a colleague. I hit the blue share button up in the right hand corner and I see these sharing settings. Those are the sharing settings that are going to change. Nothing else is changing, not the way that you actually access the share button or anything like that, but the settings themselves are changing, which might throw you for a little bit of a loop. And also your students too, if they are sharing something with someone. Um, and so there are about four big changes in the settings that you can look for. If you have a personal Google account, you can see these changes right now. As of right now, we're not seeing it in our school accounts, but it's coming. So that's why this is our tech tip for this week, just to give you a heads up and know to look for these changes coming soon. But the major changes are that words have replaced the icons to indicate how someone is shared, right? So if the speech bubble was next to my name, that meant that I could comment. If the pencil was next to my name, it meant that I could edit. If the eyeball was next to my name, it meant I could view only that document. So these are going away and they're replaced with actual words. So if viewer is next to my name, then I can view the document only. If commenter and editor, which I feel is a little bit more intuitive than the icons. So viewer, commenter, and editor are the same settings as before. They're just now in text form and you won't see these icons anymore. The next thing that you'll see is that the spot to add new people in these new sharing settings is up at the top rather than the bottom, which I think is great. You don't have to do any more scrolling down to the bottom to add new people or groups to your document. So that's just up at the top instead of where it was previously at the bottom. The third change that you will notice, and this is probably the most significant change for me that I've noticed, is that when you want to change the overall setting of the file, you have to click on change. And so that's way at the bottom here. And so there's still this get link option, but if I want to change this from restricted to make it able to be viewable by anyone with the link, I will have to hit this change button and come in here. I'll get another pop-up to be able to switch that option to make it viewable or editable by anyone with the link. So down here is where you can copy and change the permissions for the link of the document. If you're not sharing with individual people, you're sharing out the link to the document. And the final thing that you'll notice in the new sharing settings is the gear option up in the top right hand corner, which just allows you to, if you are the owner of the document, you have the ability to uh, make it so the editors can change permissions and share, or you can uncheck that box and turn that off. Same with viewers and commenters can see the option to download, print, and copy. If you don't want them to have those options, you can uncheck this box. Lots of people didn't know that this even existed because it was so far down at the bottom before. So now it's easily right up here in the upper right-hand corner in the gear. And that just has to do with your sharing settings that previously was found at the bottom. And so those are the four major changes that you'll see as far as sharing settings in Google.